Shannon Sharp, when I saw this last night on Fox Bet, the top of my head blew off. I'm way down here in my little humble abode. You're way up there in your palatial estate in Bel Air. The top of my head blew off and went all the way to Bel Air. Look, I love Dak Prescott, but when did Dak Prescott turn into Tom Brady meets Michael Jordan? I mean, it was just last August that NFL.com came out with its annual top 100 players in the NFL survey as voted upon by the players. And Dak Prescott was not even in the top 100. And then he quarterbacked my Dallas Cowboys to an 8-8 record, during which he went 1-6 versus the playoff teams that they played last year. And he did not make the Pro Bowl because he did not play great down the stretch, especially at New England and at Philadelphia. And now you're telling me that if Andy Dalton replaces Dak Prescott, suddenly it's going to create a 4-point swing in the betting lines? Do you realize 4 points is? It's unheard of. It's an avalanche. It's a tsunami. It's a California earthquake. It just rarely happens. And wait a second. That's enormous, and that is preposterous. It's not going to happen because we are talking here about Andrew Gregory Dalton, the new backup quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Andy Dalton is a three-time Pro Bowler. Andy Dalton in his first 5 years for the Bungles, playing for the lousy Cincinnati Bungles. He averaged 10 wins a year for 5 years. Look it up.
0-4 in the playoffs, just saying.
They made the playoffs 4 of those 5 years.
And lost
he did not play
every
well
one of them.
But he got the Bungles to the playoffs 4 times. Over that span of those 5 years, he had the third most wins in all of pro football behind Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. And in his career, he's had the 5th most fourth quarter comebacks since his rookie year in the National Football League. In as late as 2017, he led the NFL in fourth quarter comebacks.
Eric, what are you talking about?
And
I'm seeing your live video chat right there.
We're talking about the Andy Dalton who at TCU, which happens to be very near Jerry World, as a native Texan, he guided the Horned Frogs to 13-0 his last year there. They won the Rose Bowl. They finished 2nd in the nation. He has won a whole bunch of football games because he has started 133 NFL games in his career and is only 32 years of age. And now you're telling me that it's like Tom Brady would be replaced by Cooper Rush, who's a former backup quarterback for the Cowboys? No, it's Andy Dalton. It's not Cooper Rush. Maybe I'd give you with Cooper Rush a 4-point swing. But you're trying to tell me that Michael Jordan's going to be replaced in the starting lineup by Steve Kerr? Andy Dalton is not Steve Kerr. He is so much better than Steve Kerr.
Come on, Skip.
In the end, Shannon, I've said this before on the show, and now I'm going to say it again with all my heart and soul. If Dak Prescott does hold out, let's do hypothetically through the whole next football season. It's a possibility as we speak. I believe that Andy Dalton, if he started all 16 games, could win 10 of them. Fox Bet says he would only be favored to win 4. So you're telling me Andy Dalton would go 4-12? No. I say he could win 10 wins with this weaponry and a top 5 offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott behind him. Are you kidding me? I'll go 10. I'm not saying he's better than Dak. Obviously, he's not. Dak might be able to win 11 or 12 games. But he's not that much worse than Dak Prescott. So in the end, I say preposterous.
Big Four, I'm glad you got it.
Before I launch, what do you think the ideal point spread should be between Dak and Andy Dalton?
I said this week or next week. This week or next week.
Maybe. Oh, man, you better stop. Like a half. No, I better start.
You ought to stop.
Shannon,
come on, Skip.
A half a point swing and a point spread
Cowboy fan,
is pretty significant.
Thank you for that super
Again,
chat.
It is.
This is This is like a hurricane hit.
Come on, Skip.
Well, it makes sense to me.
Okay.
Because I believe Dak is a better quarterback at this point in his career than Andy Dalton is at this point in his career.
What?
But Skip, when you look at it, out of 32 quarterback rooms, that's only the 17th best. I mean, you're looking at Russell Wilson. He's 10 points. Lamar is 8. Patrick Mahomes is 7. Skip, I mean, if you look at it, Drew Brees to Jameis is 3. Drew Brees to turnover
Eddie, I want to talk to you.
Skip, I'm not surprised that is 4 points. Now, Skip, you said they're going to go forward whatever. No, that means that the Cowboys would be favored. And if the line is, say, 4 points, that means it might be a pick a ball game, Skip. You don't start the game with those points or minus those points. That's just for, people like you and myself, to pick up a cool couple of bucks. You don't gamble anymore. But anyway. But Skip, I do agree with you. I was surprised. I thought it would have been a little, honestly, I thought it was going to be a little higher. Considering, Skip, that last year, Andy Dalton was 30. Andy Dalton was 29 out of 30 in QBR. He did start the season 0-8. They went to Ryan Finley, and they ended up going back to Andy Dalton. So Andy Dalton did not play particularly well. And he hasn't played well, Skip. I understand his first 5 years, but Andy Dalton has been in the league about 9 years. So the last 4 hasn't been as productive as the first 5. And you have to factor that in. He did allow them to get Joe Burrow on his watch. He started. There's a reason why they got Joe Burrow.
Skip.
Skip, when you look at it, 4 points is really not a lot. When you look at some of the other quarterbacks, and you're like, that's it. At least he's not Mitchell Trubisky. It's -2. So in other words, they're losing points by starting Trubisky as opposed to starting Nick Foles, Skip.
Damn.
But 4 points, Skip, and I get what you're saying, because normally you get 3 points for the home field. Especially if you're playing at home, you get 3 points. So basically they're saying if Dak does not play, he's 4 points better in every single game than Andy Dalton. And I can see that, Skip, because I do believe that right now, as we speak, that Dak Prescott is a considerably better. I'm not talking about. I think what you're doing, you're trying to fact this like they got Dak like a Mahomes or Lamar Jackson, and I'm not saying that, but I do believe Skip, he's 4 points better than Andy Dalton, and I believe they will win more games. They will be in contention in more games.
As always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods. Wake up, guys. Wake up. There we go. You know what? I'm actually going to go into something right now. Herman Davis, stop right there. And Eddie, where's my cousin Ben? How you doing, cousin? You know what? No matter what you do, you cannot please everybody. You can't. It's impossible. So what you do is you take care of the Purge Squad. He made Joe Boo wings with habanero sauce yesterday. And oh boy, I know they were hot. Thank you very much, Purge Squad. But no matter what you do, I work hard every single day here trying to satisfy everybody. But you know what? Or is that a B? What was the name there? Where are you? Somebody said, I used to be a good Dallas Cowboys YouTuber, but now I've turned into a Dak defender and an Eagles something or other. You know what? I don't actually, AC1, I don't actually ever remember seeing you here on the show before. So I don't know when that you saw me before. I apologize that I'm not doing what you like. But here's the thing. I look at it like this. It's been the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles, and then the Dallas Cowboys and then the Eagles, that the two teams have been fighting each other out. When you look at it, I don't believe that the Washington Redskins are as big a threat. I don't believe that the New York stinking Giants are as big a threat as the division winners, the Eagles. I believe we beat both of those guys twice last year. The Eagles, we end up losing to practice squad players, as they put it. They are our biggest competition. You need to know the enemy. You need to know their strengths, their weaknesses, what they do, when they go to bed, when they get up, and how they do everything. So you're damn right I talk about the Eagles, because you know what? I want what they got last year, which was a division title. I want what they got a couple of years ago, a Super Bowl. So to ignore them and just act like, oh, they don't exist is stupid. You don't think that the United States military studies the Soviet Union, studies the Iraqis, studies the Iranians? You know, they try and know everything. They got reconnaissance. They fly airplanes over, taking pictures. They got satellites looking down, trying to get everything they can intel-wise. And I apologize if my show isn't what you like. Oh, it's okay, because here's a great thing, you know? I'm not the only one out here. And everybody out there, you want to know stuff about the draftees, then that is Vosh Lombardi, because Vosh knows it better than ESPN. But then again, who doesn't know much more than ESPN, okay? ESPN's a shell themselves. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has a little bit different thing. What would it be if everybody did the exact same thing? It'd be pretty boring. So what you get here, you get served a different meal. Maybe I'm, soul food over in here. Maybe Law Nation, he got Caribbean food over there. Maybe Law Nation, he got barbecue. So you can choose which restaurant you want to go to. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I'm fired up tonight. I'm fired up. So you don't want to play. You don't want to play, okay? Mike J in the house. There's Q. Jimmy Cook. What you doing? You sent me an email about not wanting a shot glass, about not wanting a shot glass, and never got an email back. You don't want a shot glass, Jimmy? I get lots of emails. I apologize. Send it to me again. Send it to me tonight. I'll make sure I look at it after the show. Okay. Amen, Greg. Who got me pissed off? No, I'm just. Well, AC1, I'm talking about what's going on. Listen, people coming after me all the time. I am talking about potential. I'm talking. Whoa. Let me ask you, AC1. I don't think I've talked about the Eagles all day today. I've talked about how how Chris Sims lied on Dak Prescott, saying that he wanted to turn down $175 million and that he was demanding $45 million. I believe I talked about that. I believe I talked about Jamel Adams and what it potentially may cost us and what we get in return. And then I think I dispelled the talk about Michael Gallop, and of course the fans talking about trade Dak Prescott for Jamel Adams. I believe those are things I talked about. I don't know that all of that was all Dak Prescott, but that's what's in the news. That's what's big right now. Okay, I'm sorry. Like I said, you can't please everybody, and I'm out missing. I'm serious. CA Stranger, I appreciate the super chat. You think that Dak's getting greedy? Dak's best interest in the Cowboys? Okay. I'll get to that in a second. Little touchdown. We'll be in the Super Bowl. Trade the first and third for Adams because we're stacked at every position. In my opinion, it's drafting a top 2 safety in the league with 31 or 32. Okay. 31 or 32 if you go to the Super Bowl. Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. I got to tell you, I don't think there's no way, no how Jerry's going to get rid of a first-round draft pick. I think Jerry Jones had too much damn fun with that first-round pick. Because, see, the problem is and I'm not saying that Jamel Adams might not be worth more than a first-round pick. I'm not saying that at all. Although, you got to look at that first-round pick that you're giving up. Also, the big payday you're going to have to be paying that guy as well immediately, as opposed to drafting a guy young. Excuse me. Choked on that. But I think Jerry Jones loved too much what he did with that first-round draft pick. Getting CD, I'm getting choked up on this. Getting CD Lamb was huge. And not only getting CD Lamb, because you got to look at this as more than just getting CD Lamb helping your team. What you got is you also got somebody that's hurting another team. a team that was desperate for playmakers. Okay? You got to you can't tell me that Jerry Jones isn't proud to go ahead and say, son, I want you to take that 88. And you can't tell me that he wasn't happy to see wins.
What? Look at what? He's at this. Did the screen freeze? Is it still light? Look.
Looking for the corona.
Oh my God! Look at this! Wow, that has to be the stupidest thing I've ever. Oh my God! Are you gonna take a quarterback back in the second round? Oh my God! Are you kidding me? What did you just trade Carson then? Are you kidding me? You just took a quarterback in the second round. This team is so good.
That's kind of funny, man.
They don't need to take. They don't need anything else, right? They're so good. They don't. This has to be for some sort of trade. There has to be something to this. This don't make any sense. Eagles UK, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry. This is stupidity at its finest. There has to be something else going on.
Okay, so Jerry Jones had to have fun that first night because, he was up in there just happy as can be about having that pick. So I don't know that they would be willing to part with a number one for Adams. And here's the thing, this is old video. Come on, Mark. You got no. You know what, Ethan? It still works. It still works seeing him cry. Because I got to tell you, when I see my Dallas Cowboys, and stuff kicking that Eagle ass, I'm going to be coming back with some of the, and if you don't like it, hey, it's cool. Like I said, I'm not worried about pleasing everybody because there's no chance that I can please it. I have tried literally, merciless? Okay, over and over again, damn it. I have tried over and over and over again to try and please everybody. But you know what? I'm just going to do me. Life's too short to go ahead and just try and bend over backwards trying to make people that are happy that are never going to be happy. Here's the bottom line. I believe Dak Prescott is the best option for the Dallas Cowboys. And I will go to my grave saying that. And if you don't like that, don't think you can come in here and change my opinion on it. If you don't like it, don't come in here, because that's what you're going to get. Young Wilson, aloha. Can't wait for the red brick house. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to get going on the red brick house. Don't you worry. That's one of those things that, before I leave up away from here, that red brick house is going to be ready to live for another 200 years. You don't need to please me. I'm just saying it's old. Okay, it's old. But you know what? I like it. I love it. I love seeing Philly 500 literally with the what the fuck look on his face. I'm pleasing me. Okay. L4G, I thought I got L4G Custom Fabrication. That's my homeboy. L4G. I thought I got it. Maybe I missed it. Well, I apologize. Oh, Lord. Here we go. The king of all respectful trolls, Philadelphia. Is there such a thing as respectful trolls? I just want to know, is there? Okay, so here's a question for Jamel Adams, what you have to look at. And you had a great point in there that L4G, if you're trading him, if you feel that you are close, if you feel like he can be a difference maker to get us the ring, then you do it. You sell out. And from as far as I can tell from what this team has done thus far, this team believes that this is time. Jerry Jones, I believe, is 77. How me and my family, Daniel, we're still alive. We are still alive, so we are good. Both of my daughters doing good. Michael Anthony is over here laughing at YouTube, and I'm here talking with 250 of my best friends. What? Huh? You laughing at okay. So you have to look at what you're giving up. Are you looking at the future, or are you looking at right now? And it's not just that pick. It's also going to be the chunk of change. What about the Ha-Ha and Woods? And see, Zeke, that was going to be my second point, because both of those guys, Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix and Zeke Elliott, Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix, actually the last 2 years, his numbers have been actually pretty good. You look at Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods is on a prove-it year. This is the last year of his contract. He's looking to get paid. And generally speaking, guys play really, really good in that prove-it year. And he's had flashes where he's done really, really well. Who cares who the number one receivers is? They ain't getting Gallop. And see, that's the thing, because remember what they wanted before, okay, and last year they didn't have to make a move during the season, but they want a number one and an offensive lineman. Okay, so now you're saying, but hold on, let me back this up. They haven't said what they want. They've actually said, we want to sign a long-term deal with them. But, basically they're saying we want to, but we're not going to pay too much for it. If you want to, you can. You can make a way to find out and to sign it if you really want to. So that's the motivation part on that. They haven't said what they want. What they said they wanted before was a first and a starting offensive lineman. Now, for me, ain't no way in the world you're getting a player and my number one pick. I'm sorry. That's too much. Way too much. I think a number one is too much. Because look at the Rams. Let's take the Rams, for example. 2 number ones for Jalen Ramsey, who now, with those guys in cap hell, they got to pay Ramsey. This year, losing Todd Gurley, having to slash the team because they're over the cap, without a number one this year and next year. You don't think that getting Ramsey was do you think it was a good idea at this point? You have no cash, but you got to pay him. You can't replenish with the number one this year or next year. That hurts. Eddie, dear Mark, I'm really sick and tired of fans who are procrastinators that think my team is not going to be a factor this year. I mean, after all, I'm coaching. Sincerely yours, Jason G. Eddie, you crazy Eddie. Okay, Jason Garrett. Why you gotta say dear Mark? It ain't no dear when it comes to Jason Garrett. Get out of here, man. But Slash Rocker. Oh, they don't have a whole lot of cash. Did you see what they had to do? You see how many guys they got rid of? Slash Rocker. Hold up. Let's get skip. Hold on. Over the cap. But I tell you who is. Brendan Butler. Pay Dak, but not too much, and get Adams. I'm willing to do a first and a third. Ooh, man, you crazy. That's too much cheddar for me, man. That's too much cheddar for me. Over the cap. Crunchy Nose Consulting. Cap space. Here we go. Cap space. Coming on up. All these damn ads. Okay, the Doo-Doo Browns have $38 million. Okay, of course they do. Cowboys have $5.6 million. Look at that. Bam. See, somebody said, Mark Holmes, you're a freaking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. The Rams aren't in cap hell. Okay, let me blow this up. At the bottom of the list with $500,000, it is the Rams. Mr. Antoine Wright, this will be Dallas in a few years cap hell. Actually, Antoine, I hate to tell you, or I'm happy to tell you, you're wrong, actually, Antoine. Believe it or not, here's the magical thing. Here's the magical thing that you don't seem to understand. The Cowboys were actually wise to go ahead and lock up Zeke Elliott last year. They could have said, no, we're going to play you on that 4th year, and we're going to go ahead and play you on that 5th year, and then we'll go ahead and make you a contract. Here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing about this. Projections of the salary. Oh, no, let me start out this way. Let me put it this way. Okay. The NFL, part of the thing that they sold the players on is, listen, we're going to increase your percentage of the revenues. We're going to go from 47 to 48.5%. Bam, right there off the top. We're going to add a 17th game. Bam, right there on top. We're going to add gambling revenues. Bam, right there on the top. Oh, in 2022, we got to redo the television contract. Bam, there's more money right there. Sorry to tell me cap hell can't happen is a lie. Well, just hold on. Let me give it to you. Antoine, just listen to me. Okay, so here's what you want to understand. Over the course of the last 5 years, okay, I want you to think about a couple of things that happened. We had the concussions. We had all the older players that were trying to sue the NFL because they were like, dude, I'm messed up. I want some money. You had mothers saying, I don't want my kids playing football anymore. You had people saying this is the beginning of the end of the NFL. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? You know I'm right. You even had Will Smith in the concussion movie. Okay, we'll hold you to it, Mark. Okay, please do, please, Antoine. Please hold it to me. You know what? You and I don't agree all the time, but that's cool. That's cool. Hold me to it. But let me at least explain my theory, at least, because this is where you kind of look at the numbers. Okay, so we had that happen, right? Then we had the anthem protest, the Colin Kaepernick, where we had people just say, "Screw the NFL. I'm not buying season tickets. I'm not watching. I'm not going." I have friends of ours that we go to Deep Creek with that still to this day do not watch football anymore because of the Colin Kaepernick situation. They had fans that just said, screw the NFL. We had out and out war. I couldn't even talk about it here on the channel, right? We had that happen. But guess what happened every year over the last 5 years? The salary cap went up $10 million with no new money coming in. No new money. No new money, yet the salary cap went up every single year. Understand that Drew Brees 5 years ago was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL at $18 million. $18 million. Right now, Russell Wilson's at 35. That is almost double. Just a little bit short of double. Okay, so now, here's where the new money comes in. A bigger piece of pie because now you have one more week of football. One more week of football. You now also have 2 more playoff teams in the playoffs. So now you only have one team that gets a bye in each conference. So you got 2 more playoff games. 2 more playoff games. You don't think playoff games are going to make some money? Oh, you know how they're now gambling on everything? You know, there's an over and under now. They talk about it openly now on all the sports channels. Dak Prescott's contract. You know, who's going to win the first game? Gambling money. Gambling money is legal. The Washington Redskins, in fact, are working on figuring out where their new stadium's going to be, and it's going to be in Maryland, because on the ballot, they actually have for the people to vote on whether or not they get a gambling license at the stadium. At the stadium. You're going to be able to play slots at the stadium. You're going to be able to gamble on your team at the stadium. I'm not saying a casino, at the stadium. That money, more money for the NFL. And then, if that were, lo and behold, if that weren't enough, the NFL right now can say, hey, television, hey, you see what we did for the draft? We had a 35% increase of viewership at the draft. You know, last year, we had an increase of viewership from the fans. You know, somebody is going to be streaming football on top of it, too. So it's going to be in 2022. Line it up. Show me the big ass pile of money. All this money revenue is going into the gross revenue, which at 48% the players get. Their projections by 2027 that the salary cap is going to be $470 million. So the fact that you locked up Jalen Smith, because see, this is where they always tell you, oh, they're paying Jalen Smith a lot of money. Actually, if Jalen Smith continues on the projection that he has, the money that he's being paid will be chump change in 2 years. Same thing with Lyle Collins. Oh, by the way, we only have $5.6 million. Come the 1st of June, we'll get another 7.5 because Travis Frederick is no longer on the team. If we go ahead and get Dak Prescott's deal done, like anytime, between now and July 15th, you'll probably see about $8 or $9 million more on the cap. So right now you're looking at about $25 million on the cap right now. If we don't happen to spend that, that rolls over to the following year. That's more money we have the following year. And the salary cap will continue to go up. So right now, the Cowboys are actually in a good position because they have locked up their offensive line, because they have locked up their running back, their wide receiver at today's money before it all gets inflated. That's where it's imperative that you pay Dak Prescott now. GD, thank you very much. Mark, the bottom line, it's a bottom line league. We are in the middle of a never-seen pandemic. If there are no fans in the stand, this year's money is going to be made. The salary cap will not go up, and trust me. Well, you may have a point there. However, here's where I'm going to counter that just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here's where I'm going to counter it. Because you may not have the gate revenues. Gate revenues probably won't going to be there. But guess what's going to be there? You're still going to have the viewership. In fact, if it ends up being that you don't have the other sports, baseball has until the early June decide whether or not they're going to have a season. They got to work out that deal. If it ends up being that there isn't college football and the NFL is talking about playing on Saturdays, they've got that set up where they can shift and take that slot for college football. You're going to see, like we had a 35% increase in the draft, you're going to see more people watching on television and more of a premium there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But see, that's the way I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. But, I'm going by what has already been there. The information that's there to come up with the conclusion. As opposed to some of these people out here pulling shit out their ass. Now, Today was actually a really cool day. I'm going to catch my breath here. Antoine, hopefully I'm right and you're wrong on it. Hopefully. But we'll revisit it. I know you're going to come back at it. But today, I got to do something really, really cool. And I want to give you guys a taste, just a taste of this. I have my buddy, Cowboys Experience. Oh, Lord, I'm having problems with... here we go again. I've got my buddies with Cowboys Experience, okay? And I got my buddy Lincoln Coleman, along with Tattoo Mark, and we had Sergeant Cowboy and everything else. We got together, and I want to give you guys just a little bit of a taste of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some more of this stuff. Derek Young, thank you very much. Let's go get Adams because we're going to be drafting very late next year's draft, so let's get him. That's a good point. I won't dispute that with you, and we'll see what it was like. Literally every reliable reporter said Dak is not saying, yeah, we all know that, Jimmy. We all know that, but see, we got a lot of people that believe it. But real quickly, I want to give you guys a taste of what we're going to be working on. We're going to be doing these things in future lives. So today was actually our first run. And I was talking with my buddy, Lincoln Coleman. And I'm just going to play a little bit of this. I'll put up the whole thing tomorrow. But I want... Eddie, yes, I'm happy we replaced you. But I want you to check this out because I enjoy this. Because this Thanksgiving Day... Thanksgiving Day story was freaking incredible. I want to ask you something, though. Lincoln, I want to ask you something.
I'm tired of all the ass kicking, okay? And so I fell asleep.
And woke up and said, "Where's the wings?"
It was the wings. The wings did it to me.
Oh, man. But see, Lincoln, I want to actually ask you a couple questions and stuff. Because, when we hear, like you're just saying, you heard $175 million, that was Chris Sims. And we got so many guys out there that are trying to get some space out in the blogosphere right now, and sometimes they exaggerate the truth. Now, we've all heard that Dak Prescott was looking for a 4-year deal at $35 million, which comes out to $140 million. So it's not a hard stretch to say if the Cowboys want 5, that it would be $170 million. So that's how they got to that number. But the Cowboys and Dak's agent are both saying, no, we didn't turn down $175 million. But I'm going to ask you, though, as a football player, when somebody got paid on the team, did you look at that and say, I can't believe that SOB got paid and anything like that? What was the attitude?
That's what he deserved.
That's right. So
you sit back and you start counting somebody else's money,
then
you've lost focus.
Right.
No, hey, yeah, you're paying for dinner tonight, bro.
Well,
that's how it works, man.
Now,
you don't count somebody else's money like that.
There you go. Something you said in there actually really took me back to when I was a kid watching football. But you were talking about being part of the team and how you felt that even though you were a rookie, that you felt like this was your team and the place that you wanted to be. A lot of times I feel like guys are into it in the money, and I always hear them say, I'm here to help this team. And it's like, it's not really part of their blood. That it doesn't matter if it's the Cowboys, the Redskins. It's just like it's the bottom line is the money. Do you feel like that's changed from when you were playing to today?
Oh, definitely. But here's the problem. Let me go specific with the Cowboys. Here's one of the problems, major problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I played, everybody on the team were Cowboy fans as kids, or their parents were a Cowboy fan, or a cousin, or somebody important in their life loved the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that today. We don't have a lot of Cowboy fans playing on that 53-man roster.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a love for a team and now you finally grow up and you become a player for that team,
right,
you give them a little extra. And I say this all the time. I know some people think I'm a jerk. There's no other team out there like the Cowboys. Okay? We did this thing. We made the NFL what the NFL is.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones taught all these, small market teams how to make money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's who we are. And it's just got to be another level of love and respect for the game, number one. And our guys are going to have to, we got to do something a little extra, because every time we play someone, they give us a little something extra. Because they're on TV.
Right.
Only because of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And so they come to take the head off. So there's a little more respect, a little more love for the game, and just go out there and make it happen. I think the right move was getting Andy Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not losing my mind about that. I'm really not. I'm not going to sweat one guy on this team when you got an offensive line, you got a running back who is an old school dog.
Yeah.
He reminds everybody, somebody, you shouldn't have paid him. You out of your dang mind. If you watch his plays last year when he didn't have the ball, he was looking for people to hit in the face.
True.
That's what you want. He doesn't avoid contact. We need to come up with a better way. And so I think Andy Dalton, if Dak is, I'm not losing my mind about it. Yeah, I'm not going to sweat whether or not he shows up or not. But we have a quarterback just in case. And we have a dog at running back. We have fantastic receivers.
Mm-hmm.
All we have to do is go out there and play football.
Amen on that one. So as we dissect the body, the 8-8 season, when we looked at it and we said we actually had some really good parts, where do you think the Cowboys went wrong last year? Where do you think the season went awry? Do you look at the defense? Do you look at special teams? Do you look at coaching? Do you look at motivation?
Defense fell off. We couldn't, everybody was upset with Garrett for this, try to run and get the offense was erratic.
Go get him, Miss Jackie.
Put up all of these, gaudy numbers, but they weren't consistent. But the defense fell off, man, in bad situations, important situations where they should have stepped up. They didn't.
Didn't get that ball taken away.
This led to a BS season, But I really think it was a great move to bring in Andy Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time ever they had a competent
backup
at quarterback. You know what I mean? I always bring in these people. I'm going, who is this guy? What's going on? What do you see in him to give him some money? You know what I mean?
Especially for the price that they got him for, because you're only talking about $900,000 more than Cooper Rush. Because I had no faith that if Dak went down, I didn't have any faith in Cooper Rush being able to lead us there. So that is a comfort level. Yeah, definitely.
Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
Okay, love him, great guy. But Andy Dalton is looking to be somewhere, or looking to be the Cowboys quarterback. So his whole
the Ryan Tannehill
mentality is to ball out. And he finally has an offensive line. He finally has a running back. Receivers galore.
Right.
I mean, we're filthy with how much we have here in Dallas. So we're just going to take a guy that's ready to do something, be somebody.
Amen. So Lincoln, this is what I dreamed of, being a Dallas Cowboy player myself. Of course, I never got to that kind of level like you did and stuff. But tell me, what was it like for that very first time that you were actually stepping out on the field to actually play a game as a Dallas Cowboy? Did you have butterflies? Were you nervous? Were you ready to throw up? Or were you excited? What was that feeling like?
I'm going to tell you my first practice and then my first game.
Okay, all right, that'll work.
All right, check this out. So I just finished arena ball season. Okay, I got an agent. Cowboys are calling, and my agent comes back. He says, "Hey, man, I want you to stick with me, man. But the Miami Dolphins called. They want to sign you as soon as you get off the plane. I don't give a damn. I'm going to play for the Cowboys." He said, "Well, the Cowboys know that you were injured. They want to work you out." He said, "But I'm going to work a deal out." I said, "All right." So he calls Dallas and says, "You know what? We're going to go with the offer from the Dolphins because they're going to go ahead and sign him." They said, "Bring him on down. Put him on the plane. We'll sign him right now." So I get down there, show up, I'm like, "Oh, man, this is awesome." And so they sign me. I sign my little, contract. They send me to the locker room, and they're rushing me to get dressed. I said, "Okay, all right." Nobody's in the locker room. I come out on the field for practice in August. Hell hot. And Jimmy meets me at the gate. He says, "Hey, I like the way you work that deal out, man. You got 10 plays to make this team."
10 plays?
The number one defense in the NFL. Just won a Super Bowl. And I got middle drill, which is offensive lineman, defensive lineman, linebackers, me. Jimmy stands behind me. He's pointing to me that I'm getting the ball because I got moves. You never know. Might slip one of the moves, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? It's only on certain situations. And he points to the hole I'm going to. And everybody's meeting me in the hole, and I'm running over everybody because I was 260 pounds and I wanted to be with the Cowboys. And so after 7 plays, Jimmy said, you're here for training camp.
Wow. Okay.
Now, my first game, the week before, it was the Atlanta game. We were down in Atlanta. Emmett bruises his thigh. I never touched the field. Derek showed up. Okay, but I was on the sideline. I made the trip. The next week is Thanksgiving Day in the snow. We woke up that morning, all of a sudden there's ice. You know what I mean? And it's all over the field. And so we get in the game. Emmett's still kind of hobbling. Forgot the running back for Miami, big fella. Biner? Ernest Biner. I believe it was Ernest Biner. Well, either way it goes. And so he's a big fella. He's scooting all around the field. So Jimmy looks at me and says, "Let's go." So my first experience, Thanksgiving Day, the whole world is watching this game. Everybody's watching the Cowboys. And my first play went for like 16 yards. I was nervous. I got up. I was all hyped, and I dropped the ball, and you know what I mean. I didn't know where I was for the first series. I didn't know. I wasn't actually on the field mentally, just physically, and I couldn't believe this stuff was happening. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just following the game plan. This is what you're supposed to do. You got to hit the hole, and then you look. And so, Louis Oliver. I don't know if you guys remember him. Safety from Miami, 224, couldn't cover a lick. All he wanted to do was come up and hit running backs. And so I hit the hole. I seen him at the last. He knows how to hit those run angles.
Right.
Hit him at the last second, ducked my shoulder, He went down. I kept going a little bit. I get up, left side, done, numb. So I get back to the huddle, and Aikman goes, "Let's run that play again." Well, blows the whistle. Louis Oliver was down. I knocked him out. He went unconscious, and he never played again after that game.
Whoa,
That play.
That play.
I was looking at Aikman like, man, you give me the ball, it's gonna get ugly.
I remember that
Real
game
quick.
too.
Okay, so
I remember because that was the Leon last. Yes. Oh man.
They had the trick over there for me and Kevin, because Kevin had a couple of touchdowns, and I'm a Dallas boy. I had all the yards.
About talking.
I'm like looking at this turkey. As soon as that happened, man, they went across that ice like they were on skate.
Oh man,
it didn't matter.
So I know you were mad at the big cat. You cost me my turkey.
His ass had to come in the training camp.
Tell you something. People ask me that, reporters, all of
You got
it.
to prove it.
Here's what I tell them all the time.
He
He
make
was
sure
6'7".
that your ass is good
His
enough to be
arms
here.
touched the ground. His knuckles.
When you think about the story,
And
about
he
Jimmy
was
Johnson
country
and the
strong.
kicker, and the kicker
So no, I just
basically
said, hey
had
man,
to,
it's all right.
It's all good, bro. Don't worry.
I ain't crazy.
Asthma field. You know,
But in the back of your mind, it's like that was my damn
we
turkey.
had guys. Now it's kind of like Camp Cupcake. We don't put guys through. Sorry, yeah, I got it. Turn it off. Thank you, Robert. I didn't realize I cut it off too soon before it's all over with. But we used to make guys earn stuff, you know, and this is what bothers me is, you know, for CeeDee Lamb to go through. First, I wanted number 10, and then he found out about, you know, all of the 88s. He was born in 1999. He doesn't understand what it used to be a Dallas Cowboy player, to be one of these gods that are up here, these Hall of Famers. And that's where these guys need to understand that they have a chance if they put their shit together and get this team in a Super Bowl, how they can be one of those football gods. They have to understand what the guys before them had to do. They didn't get all this money and everything else where they could mark the video. I got it. It's not playing anymore. I got it. I got it. We're good. Not a fan of Andy. We don't ever say anything about it. Well, the thing with Andy, oh my God. Remember, this guy was benched. He was benched for a reason. If he was that great of a quarterback, you think they'd be drafting number one a quarterback? Come on, man. It's just amazing to me how everybody will go through and listen to all these jackasses out here. I understand. How many of these guys that are telling the Cowboys what to do and trashing Dak Prescott do you think are actually Dallas Cowboy fans? Do you think any of these guys out there saying all this stuff of what the Cowboys should do are hoping that the Dallas Cowboys win? You see, and sometimes I feel like all of a sudden I'm on an alternate universe. It seems like skip my Dallas Cowboys, but not with Dak Prescott. I'm an Andy Dalton fan, okay? And you get the cow turd. These jackasses aren't telling you what you want to hear to make the Dallas Cowboys better. They're doing these things to inflame you or to get you to watch. It's not playing over me anymore. It's off. There's nothing coming on the meat. It's not, unless you just tuned in. Okay? That video is off. The microphone over there is off for it. The feed for it. But all of these things that are being made up, understand when you listen to something Mike Farello has to say, you have to kind of like, okay, let me look at that with the side eye. Because they are going to stretch the truth. They're going to kind of, give you part of the picture. Sometimes they will just out and out make things.
Richard Welch, you were 100% right on that one.
And here's the thing with the cap. I tell you what, let's do this. Let's go with the Cowboys, for example. The amazing thing is, we used to be in cap hell. We used to be like $25 million over the cap going into the offseason. And we would literally have to restructure contracts like Tyron Smith and Dak Prescott's and things like that to get cash. Now, as we sit here with $5.6 million, right? $5.6 million. Right now, we have one of the highest cap hits in the NFL because we have a franchise tag. If the Dallas Cowboys get Dak Prescott's deal done, you can see about $8 or $9 million more. Just like that on the salary cap. Just like that. Boom. Major hit. If you go in here, as we go down, Tyrone Crawford, right there. If you absolutely positively need cash, if you decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get one of these guys out here that are really, really good, and replace them. Or you could say, okay, $8 million, Tyrone Crawford is, over half of what I need to pay Jamel Adams. Interesting. Interesting, right? And I'm not necessarily saying to cut Tyrone Crawford because he's been a team captain. He's been a great player, but we lived without him all last year. He's coming off double hip surgery. Just pointing that out. All right, as we go also in here, Travis Frederick. You see this right here? Right? Let's go post June 1st. Bam. See this right here? Come the 1st. Let me get you closer. Come the 1st, right here. $7 million. Right there. Travis Frederick is going on our cap. We will get that on the 1st because that's where the Cowboys will go ahead and say, hey, okay, he's not with us. He's retired. $7 million more right there. Okay? So you take 8 from Dak. You take 7 right there. That's 15. You take Tyrone Crawford. That's another 8. So that's 23. You've got 5.6. You got $30 million like that. Just like that. You got $30 million. So as far as the cash you need, if you decide that you want to get him, you have that. You have that. And then some. You're good. The question is the compensation. I'm not giving up Michael Gallop. I'm not doing it. The guy who, I can't remember his name. He used to be on Inside the NFL. He ended up basically being the one that's just kind of put out there. This isn't the Cowboys saying we're offering Michael Gallop. This is not the Cowboys. But he was like, an up-and-coming player, you throw him in, he's only had 66 catches for 1,107 yards and 6 TDs. Oh, let's just throw him into the deal. Are you kidding me? Michael Gallop a couple of years ago would have been our number 1 wide receiver by far. You remember when we had Terrence Williams, Bryce Butler, and Cole Beasley? That was our receiving core, and you're just going to go ahead and say, we'll just throw him in with a first-round pick. Get the fuck out of here. You are crazy. I'm not doing that deal. I'm not giving up a number 1. Sorry. That's too much for one guy. Because now you're hurting your offense to try and help your defense. Understand, I don't know that the Dallas Cowboys offense would have been as good as it was had it not been for the balance that they had. When you had Alvin Harper, when you had Michael Irvin, when you had Emmitt Smith, when you had Jay Novacek. The reason why it worked was Troy Aikman only had to throw 20 or more touchdown passes one year because there were so many different places you could go with the ball. It was like Madden. You can't stop everybody. You can't block everybody. And that's what happens with 2016. What worked really well for the Dallas Cowboys was the fact that we didn't have a superstar, that everybody basically got the ball around about the same. Dez was partially injured, and when Dez came back, he had to be, listen, you want the ball, you got to be open. But the ball went to Cole Beasley, it went to Jason Witten, it went to Terrence Williams, it went to Michael Irvin. Excuse me, Michael Irvin, God. Dez Bryant. And Emmett was running. Man, just shut up, Mike. Listen, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. And I've been sniffing paint fumes from spraying the lacquer, okay? Zeke Elliott, damn. Okay, listen, I talked to Lincoln Coleman. Okay, Lincoln Coleman was Emmitt Smith's backup. Okay, I got Lincoln. What?
I'm gonna say it said Lincoln Coleman.
Oh, Lordy, Lord. Oh, Steve Gold. You know what, Steve? It's so funny. Oh, we can rescind the tag. You have to understand. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna pour myself a little, just a little taste here. You know what? What's funny is the Dallas Cowboys are sweating. The Dallas Cowboys are doing what they do. They always talk this big game. We're not gonna reset the market. Nope. We got to understand. Team friendly. We got to have money to pay other guys. They said that with, D-Law. You remember that? Well, we thought we were going to get D-Law for about $19 million. We're not going, that's too much. We talked at the combine. And what did they turn around and do? $21 million. $21 million. $21 million. Oh. What did they say all last summer? We're going to pay Zeke, but we're not going to reset the market. No, we the Dallas Cowboys. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Nope, ain't going to happen. Zeke, nope. We signed him on that 5th-year option. Zeke, you got to understand, you were running back. You could get replaced. You had Jerry Jones even in preseason thinking that, hey, Tony Pollard looking good.
Pollard. Zeke who?
You remember that? You remember that, don't you? That was during preseason. Oh, we don't need Hey, we got Tony Pollard. We got Tony Pollard. Rich Welch, so what pick would you give up for Adams? I would say a second and maybe a third put together. That would be as high as I would go. I wouldn't go no higher than that, period. Seriously. I would not go higher than that. A second, maybe a third. The only reason why I say a third, too, is because we should get compensatory picks. We don't know exactly how they're going to line up, but because we lost Robert Quinn, he got that $75 million contract, and Byron Jones getting that big contract, along with Randall Cobb getting his deal. They go through and they weighted versus what you signed. If you looked at the contracts the Cowboys signed, they didn't pay these guys very much. So you may be looking at getting a 4th and a 5th round, maybe, and maybe a 6th round. You may look at getting 3 picks, supplemental ones. So you can kind of say, you know what, we can take a couple of these, we can move back up in the 3rd round. So you're not missing too much that way. But I think Jerry Jones wants that number 1. I want that number 1. I know it'll be late in the draft, hopefully, but you never freaking know. Jimmy Cook, here's the thing. If wins and losses, Dak's got more over the last 4 years than anybody other than Tom Brady. It's funny how they pick and choose which ones they put on there. They don't understand that Tom Brady last year had the best defense in football. They'll go, well, Dak Prescott didn't do good in New England. Who does do good in New England? Going to that game, New England was like 18-0 at home. 18-0 at home. They act like everybody beats the hell out of New England in New England. For Christ's sake, you know that the Eagles lost to the Lions at their place. The Eagles lost to Atlanta Falcons. Shit happens sometimes. You lose some games. And had it not been for losing those games, we'd still have freaking Jason Garrett. For one, I don't know about you, I'm happy that Jason Garrett is out of here. So understand when you hear Dak Prescott wants $45 million. That didn't come from Dak Prescott. What that is the Dallas Cowboys trying to win court of public opinion to put pressure on Dak Prescott. Or get it out there that he wants $45 million, so when they settle on 35, say, hey, he wanted $45 million, but we got him for 35, then he can save face. You understand? That's the Cowboys that are sweating right now because they know they don't have leverage. You can think Andy Dalton is the solution, but Andy Dalton, because they'll go through, he went to the playoffs 4 years in a row and lost every time. Had in 4 playoff games, I think 5 touchdown passes and 8 interceptions. Oh, but he was with the Cincinnati, so that doesn't count. Oh, okay. Dak's got all kinds of weapons. Well, guess what? So did Matt Castle. So did Brandon Whedon. They had the best offensive line in football. They had a great running game, 3rd in the NFL, or 3rd or 4th in the NFL, and couldn't bust a grape. Couldn't bust a grape. Dak comes in, boom, turns a 4-12 team into a 13-3, and goes toe-to-toe in the playoffs, throwing for more yards and more TDs in any game that Tony Romo did when he was here. Team honestly DJ Uncut Truth. Honestly, the team hasn't done nothing in 25 years. Hard to argue with that, but I will say this much. And Eddie Dearmark, I'm really disappointed in you right now. You wanted me out of here? Yeah, sign. Angry Jason Garrett. You damn right. I've wanted your ass out of here for since 8-8. So get your ass out of here. Get your ass out of here. But I'm going to say this about the Dak Prescott situation.
Why in the hell would the Dallas Cowboys do this? Seriously.
So you didn't listen to me last week at
You're
all.
going to bring...
And before we get ready to get out of here, I'm going to ask a real question. It's funny. Joseph, how you doing tonight, man? What set me off is all these people that think Andy Dalton is the freaking answer and that Dak Prescott's greedy and I trade him to the Bears. First of all, you're an idiot if you think the Cowboys can trade somebody that they don't have the rights to. You can't trade a franchise tag guy unless he signs, and he's not going to sign. He's not going to sign because then you can start finding him. But Dak Prescott's got the Cowboys over a barrel. It's only a matter of time before they break in. Now, I said, once they get back to being able to get into the facilities, I said this week or next week, you will see this thing done. And I'm going to still hold to that. And if I'm wrong, well, hey, I'm no worse than those jackasses on ESPN or Fox Sports 1. But if you think that you can just Andy Dalton for Dak, sorry. Sorry, guys. You haven't been paying too much attention to Andy Dalton over the last few years. His first couple of years, yeah, he was not too bad. Richard Wells, I agree with you on that one. Thank you, Philly, for CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, they're still cussing us out for that one. Oh, boy. Preach Mark, we have so many dumb fans. I don't even know how they call themselves fans. Howard Floyd, what's up, man? How you doing? Andy Dalton is a quality backup. Oh, he's okay. Now, don't get me wrong. Andy Dalton is a steal. Andy Dalton for our team for $3 million that's nothing. Cooper Rush was 2.1. So you look at that and say, yeah, that was a wise move to make. Cowboys Super Bowl bound. Here's the question I was going to ask. Who would you take Jason Garrett over, coaches-wise? Who would you say, I'll take Jason Garrett over? Because I got to tell you that coaches make a difference. Coaches are the CEO of the team. They come up with an idea, philosophy. You look what Jimmy Johnson did to motivate his guys. Listen to Lincoln Coleman. I don't care who you are. Your ass is going to prove yourself. You're going to come in here against the number one defense and show me what you got. And then I'll decide if you stay or go. You think Emmitt Smith would ever go, I need a blow? when the game's on the line? No. Do you think Jimmy Johnson would ever see a player going off and turn and go the other direction? Or do you think that if a player was melting down like Des Bryant did against the Seattle Seahawks, that one of the coaches wouldn't be over there talking to him, getting his head in the game? Do you think that Tom Landry would ever have clock management issues? Do you think anybody would ever question play calling for Tom Landry? We have been hamstrung by our coaches for a long time. It's not been a matter of not having players. Eddie. Slap you. Jay Gruden may be over the clapper. Jay Gruden. Well, Jay Gruden was actually there with Andy Dalton, I believe, when Andy Dalton was still playing better. Football is a team sport. We had bad, but not all of them on him. Yeah, but see, you know the thing about Jason Garrett? What I started to notice was, see, here's the thing. You know they say that your dog and you start to look alike. Have you ever heard that before? You emulate what's in front of you. Okay, I wanted to be a Cowboy fan because my dad was a Cowboy fan. I wanted to be like the person I looked up to. Have you noticed how when Jason Garrett's press conference were always the same? You could take, any game and just replace the team, and it was always the same. It was always kind of common to us. Well, we'll have to look back at the films, and we'll get better from this game, and we'll. It was just like, oh God, just somebody shoot me now. But did you notice how the players after games started saying the exact same thing? We'll have to look at the film and, get together because we know we're a better team than this and we'll learn from this and go. And I was like, they're turning into freaking Jason Garrett. No emotion. They're just kind of there. I want to see somebody who's actually out there motivating some guys. I think Garrett was holding back. You listen, the basic things that the team did. The fact that you said to me, we don't do in-game analytics. We just go basically from the gut. What the fuck is that? You got to understand what's working through analytics. You got to understand down and distance. You have to understand that, my gut says let's just run Zeke because Zeke is, we're a running team. You got to understand matchups. You got to understand that, hey, play actions has actually been working. Play action is working for us. Let's do more of it. We succeed on play action more than anything else, yet we go against the Eagles that last game and we use play action 8 times. You have things that work and you don't do them consistently. You have a quarterback who had a hot hand against Minnesota who's passing all over the place. Zeke Elliott ain't doing crap, and what do? You take the ball out of the quarterback's hand and give it to the running back. You had a kicker who missed 10 kicks. The next closest was 7. And that was a full season. That wasn't a full season with that. So come on, man. Y'all got me warm tonight. Y'all got me warm. But right now, I got to thank all of the Super Chats. Good Lord, we had a lot of Super Chats today. Good Lord. And I got to thank all the channel members, everybody who jumped in and became a channel member and everything else. And if you've gotten your stuff, because a lot of you got your new glasses, you got your new racks and stuff, send me some pictures. Please send me some pictures, okay? Give me something to do this weekend, because I sent out a lot. Ooh. Keith Floyd, thank you very much for that Super Chat. Thank you very much. How do you become a Young P? Young P. If you look at the description down there, the link is right there. Or check out now, dude. Also too now. Check it out. I have a new website, or I have a redone website. It's not new. I've had it for a long time, but now it's new as far as what you can do with it. Website is cowboyjoeboo.com. Okay. If you want to know my Instagram, if you want to know my Twitter, if you want to know my Facebook, all that's there. But wait, if you act now, there's even more. The link for the channel memberships, bam, it's right up on there too. As well as the Joeboo store. We are doing those football lace racks. Whew. We got shot glass. We got card holders. We got mug racks. We got, what's the, what am I missing, Mike? Spice rack. And we even got a hot sauce rack. Because I saw Junebug in here. Junebug should be getting his soon. He said he's going to order 2 more because he got lots of hot sauce. So if you want to get some of that Joeboo merchandise, it's on there as well. So that's where we are. And if you became a channel member, go to the community tab because there is a special link in there for you guys to get your shot glass if you became a channel member. Alex Jones, I'll take a pic with my new haircut. How you getting your haircut? Because see, I need to get one. See, I put some product on so it lays down. But you know, I could be a J5 fro if I wanted to right now. So anyway, everybody get your shot glass ready. Joseph Heatherly, smart ass. Super chat. I've got 1 minute left for doing the shots video, and I just have to say good night to everybody. What's going on? How are you holding up? Oh, that's great. Oh my God, the stuff they keep, it's crazy how they keep spinning this stuff and making up bullshit things. Did they ever find out who broke into your nephew's house? Man, I can't believe it. Okay. Hang on for 1 second. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. All right.
right, so this one is for all you guys. I want to thank everybody for being here. And one last thing, I just want you to take a look over here to the right and let me know, what do you guys think? That is what we're looking at maybe for our next shot glass. You see, it's the Philly 500 Eagle right there, and me and Joe Boo are chasing it with the cleaver. So let me know, leave a comment, and let me know if you like that, because that may become our next shot glass. Good night, everybody. Be safe out there on Memorial Weekend, and I will talk to you guys real soon. Wait, oh, man, I don't have it queued up. Boy, Young P, make sure you email me, buddy. It's time to turn out the lights, because this party's over. All right, so
the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.
Right. Right.